They told you success takes luck. They told you confidence is something you're either born with or not. But what if I told you the real secret isn't outside of you, it's in your mind? Because right now, your brain is running a program that decides how much wealth you attract and how much confidence you feel. If you can change that program, you can change everything: your income, your self-worth, even the way the world sees you. This isn't about magic. It's about mastering the most powerful tool you already have, your own mind. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success effortlessly, while others work endlessly and still struggle to get ahead? It's not luck. It's not fate. It's the way their brain is trained. The truth is, your mind is the most powerful tool you'll ever own. It has the ability to turn your thoughts into reality, and your beliefs into wealth. But most people never learn how to use it right, and that's why they stay stuck. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain is constantly listening to you. Every word you say to yourself, every belief you repeat, every doubt you entertain, it all becomes part of your inner programming. And that programming shapes your life. If you constantly say, "I can't," your brain agrees. If you say, "I will," your brain finds a way. Think of your brain like a garden. Whatever you plant inside it, that's what grows. If you plant fear and doubt, your life grows in limitation. But if you plant confidence and abundance, your life blossoms in opportunities. This isn't magic or fantasy. It's how your subconscious mind works. It listens, learns, and repeats what you feed it. From childhood, many of us were programmed to believe money is hard to get. We heard things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "Rich people are greedy." Without knowing it, those beliefs shaped how we see success. When you believe wealth is difficult, your brain finds ways to confirm it. You start to sabotage your own efforts. You miss chances because deep down, you don't feel worthy of abundance. But here's the beautiful part: you can rewrite that script. You can train your brain to attract wealth and confidence like a magnet. It starts with awareness, catching your old patterns and creating new ones that align with abundance. Every successful person you've ever admired, from business icons to artists, learned to master their inner voice first. They didn't wait for confidence to appear. They built it thought by thought, habit by habit. Their secret wasn't in what they did, but in how they thought. If you want to attract wealth, you must first see yourself as someone who deserves it. If you want confidence, you must act like someone who already owns it. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. Let's talk about why this works scientifically. Your brain contains something called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It filters what you pay attention to. When you start believing you're capable of success, your RAS begins to notice more opportunities around you. That's why when you buy a new car, you start seeing the same model everywhere. It was always there. Your brain just wasn't looking for it. The same happens with success. Once you believe in abundance, your brain starts seeing paths that lead to it. Confidence works the same way. When you tell yourself you're not good enough, your mind looks for proof of that belief. When you tell yourself you are capable, your brain begins building evidence to support it. The first step to training your brain is breaking the habit of negative thinking. You can't attract wealth or confidence while telling yourself the opposite. So start by noticing your self-talk. Catch every time you think small, and replace it with power. It doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means shifting your focus. Instead of saying, "I can't afford this," say, "How can I afford this?" Instead of saying, "I'm not confident," say, "I'm becoming more confident every day." Those small changes rewire your brain over time. Because your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions create your actions. And your actions, over time, create your reality. Confidence is not arrogance. It's the quiet understanding that you are capable, valuable, and deserving. Wealth is not greed, it's the ability to expand your life and help others through your success. Many people chase money thinking it will bring confidence. But it's the other way around. Confidence attracts money, because it changes how you see yourself and how others see you. The mind trained for success doesn't wait for permission. It takes small steps, learns from mistakes, and keeps moving forward. And slowly, that confidence becomes magnetic. When you start believing in yourself, you radiate a different energy. People feel it. Opportunities sense it. Doors that were closed suddenly begin to open. You may wonder, can I really change my thinking after all these years? Yes, you can. Because the brain is plastic, it can form new connections at any age. That's called neuroplasticity. Every time you repeat a positive belief, you strengthen that neural pathway. Every time you reject a negative thought, you weaken the old pattern. It's like building a mental muscle. Consistency shapes the result. But this change doesn't happen overnight. It requires daily practice. And that's where most people fail, not because it's hard, but because they stop too early. If you spend years telling yourself you're not good enough, you can't erase that in a day. But you can begin right now, with a single thought, a single word, a single belief. That's how transformation starts. Start by visualizing the life you want. Not in vague dreams, but in clear, emotional detail. See yourself walking into a room with confidence. Feel what it's like to succeed. Imagine yourself surrounded by abundance. Visualization isn't wishful thinking, it's mental rehearsal. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. When you see yourself confident and wealthy in your mind, your brain begins preparing for it. Over time, your thoughts align with that vision. Your actions follow. And eventually, your reality catches up. But here's the key. You must feel it. You must connect emotion to the vision. Because emotion is what programs the subconscious. It's not the words you repeat, it's the belief behind them. When you say, "I am confident," but don't feel it, your brain doesn't listen. When you say it and truly feel it, your brain rewires around that truth. That's the secret most people miss. You can train your brain just like an athlete trains their body. Daily repetition, focus, discipline, belief. When doubt shows up, and it will, see it as part of the process. Your old mind will resist change. But every time you choose faith over fear, you're building a stronger, wealthier mindset. So, if you truly want to attract wealth and confidence, stop waiting for the right time. Start speaking differently. Start thinking differently. And most importantly, start feeling differently. Because the moment your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, that's when magic happens. That's when wealth begins to flow toward you. That's when confidence becomes your natural state. In the next chapter, We'll go deeper into the daily habits that reprogram your brain for success, and how tiny routines can completely change your confidence, finances, and focus. But remember this: everything begins inside your mind. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your destiny. Train your brain to attract wealth and confidence. You can't build a strong body by going to the gym once. You go every day, you push a little harder, and over time, your body transforms. The same rule applies to your mind. You can't think positively once and expect your life to change. It takes repetition, patience, and practice. The truth is, your mind becomes whatever you feed it daily. Your habits are the nutrition of your thoughts. If you feed your brain with fear, self-doubt, and scarcity, it will build a life that matches that energy. But if you feed it confidence, gratitude, and belief, your entire reality begins to shift. Let's begin with the first and most powerful habit: morning mental programming. Every morning when you wake up, your mind is in a relaxed, receptive state. In that moment, your subconscious is wide open, ready to absorb whatever thoughts you plant. Most people waste this golden time by checking their phones, reading bad news, or comparing themselves online. And then they wonder why their day feels empty and anxious. Instead, you must take control of those first 10 minutes. Before touching your phone, sit quietly and speak powerful affirmations to yourself. Say things like, "I am confident. I am worthy. I am open to wealth and success." Repeat them slowly, and feel the emotion behind every word. Your brain listens to what you say with emotion. It doesn't respond to empty words. When you speak with conviction, your mind begins to reshape your identity. Because confidence and wealth both start with who you believe you are. After affirmations, move to visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living your dream life. Picture yourself walking with confidence, surrounded by abundance, feeling calm and proud. Feel the emotions of success as if it's happening right now. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and experience. It reacts the same way. When you visualize daily, you're giving your mind a new blueprint. You're training it to expect success instead of failure. That expectation becomes a magnetic force that pulls opportunities toward you. People, ideas, and moments that match your new mindset will begin appearing naturally. Now, let's talk about gratitude journaling. This simple habit can completely change how your brain operates. Every night before sleeping, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not just material things, include emotions, lessons, and even struggles. When you do this consistently, you train your brain to focus on abundance instead of lack. The more you notice what's going right, the more things start to go right. Gratitude is the bridge between your current life and the one you're trying to build. It keeps your heart open, your energy high, and your confidence strong. Next comes mental detox. Just like your body needs to release toxins, your mind needs to release negativity. You can't attract wealth and confidence if your mental space is full of fear, comparison, or resentment. So, limit your exposure to negative conversations, toxic news, and judgmental people. Your environment shapes your thoughts more than you realize. Remember, you become what you constantly consume. If you feed your brain success stories, motivation, and learning, your energy rises. If you feed it gossip, fear, and failure, it drops. Guard your mind as if it were the most valuable treasure, because it is. Confidence isn't about being loud or showing off. It's the quiet belief that you are enough. But that belief grows only when you stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a silent killer of confidence. It tricks your brain into focusing on what you lack instead of what you have. Here's a powerful truth: the brain can't tell the difference between reality and repeated imagination. That means you can literally train it to believe you are already confident and successful. When you do this daily, your brain adjusts to match that self-image. Eventually, it becomes your natural state. Now, let's talk about self-talk. Every time you make a mistake, what's the first thing you say to yourself? Most people say things like, "I'm so stupid," or "I can't do this." They don't realize that those words become commands to the subconscious mind. You need to speak to yourself the way a coach speaks to a champion. When you fail, say, "I'm learning." When you struggle, say, "This is making me stronger." When you doubt yourself, say, "I've overcome harder things before." This small shift in language creates massive change over time. You'll begin to notice that your confidence no longer depends on outcomes. You'll feel steady even when things go wrong, because your self-belief becomes unshakable. The next habit is movement. Your body and mind are deeply connected. When you move your body, your brain releases chemicals that improve focus, confidence, and motivation. Exercise doesn't just make you fit, it makes you mentally stronger. Even 10 minutes of walking in the morning can set your entire mindset for the day. There's another secret habit: silence. We live in a world full of noise. People are constantly talking, scrolling, and reacting. But silence is where your true power grows. Spending a few minutes in silence every day helps your mind reset and refocus. In that space, your intuition speaks. You'll begin to sense what decisions lead to growth and what paths hold you back. Let's discuss belief stacking. This means collecting small wins every day. When you set a small goal and achieve it, your brain records it as proof that you're capable. Over time, those small victories build unshakable confidence. It's like laying one brick at a time until you've built a fortress of belief. Don't wait for a huge success to feel proud. Celebrate the tiny wins: waking up early, learning something new, saving a little money. These moments teach your brain that success is part of your identity. And identity is what drives long-term results. Now let's face a truth most people avoid. You can't attract what you secretly resent. If you envy wealthy people, you're blocking your own abundance. Your brain won't allow you to become what you dislike. So instead of judging success, admire it. Say to yourself, "If they can do it, so can I." That one thought can open doors you never imagined. Money and confidence both respond to energy. When you feel small, desperate, or jealous, that energy pushes opportunities away. But when you feel grateful, secure, and inspired, you naturally pull good things toward you. Your brain starts seeking paths that match that higher vibration. Here's something powerful: change your identity before your results. Don't wait until you have money to think like a wealthy person. Don't wait until you feel confident to act confidently. Do it now. Speak, walk, and think as if you already are that person. Your actions will begin to align with your identity, and your results will follow. Think of this like tuning a radio. If you want to hear wealth, you have to tune your frequency to abundance. If you want confidence, tune into self-belief. Your brain sends and receives energy constantly. It's always responding to your mental station. Let's add another powerful daily practice: mental rehearsal. Before bed, replay your day in your mind, but imagine it as your best self. If you made a mistake, visualize yourself handling it better. If you felt nervous, picture yourself being calm and confident instead. This technique reprograms your subconscious overnight. You wake up feeling more capable because your brain has already practiced success. Consistency is everything. A few days of positivity won't change your life, but 6 months of disciplined thinking will. Because your mind eventually becomes what you repeat. The question is, what are you repeating daily? One of the biggest blocks to confidence is perfectionism. People wait until they feel ready, but ready never comes. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after it. Every time you step forward despite fear, your brain learns that you're capable. And that experience becomes your new baseline of confidence. So, act before you feel ready. Take the first step, even if it's small. Success is built one uncomfortable moment at a time. That's how confidence grows stronger, not in comfort, but in courage. Now let's talk about wealth mindset. True wealth isn't about money alone. It's about freedom, peace, and choice. It's about being in control of your life and not ruled by fear or scarcity. When you think wealthy, you begin making decisions based on abundance, not survival. People with scarcity mindsets say, "I can't afford this." People with abundance mindsets say, "How can I create the means to afford this?" One sees limits, the other sees possibilities. And that difference shapes everything, from career to relationships to happiness. To build a wealthy mind, surround yourself with people who think bigger. Conversations shape consciousness. When you talk to people who focus on growth, your brain starts expanding too. You begin to see life from a new level, not the same ground where doubts live. And lastly, forgive yourself for your past mindset. You can't attract new blessings with an old version of yourself. Every mistake you made was a lesson preparing you for this transformation. Don't carry guilt, carry wisdom. Every morning you wake up, you get a new chance to think differently. A new chance to choose confidence over fear. A new chance to choose abundance over limitation. That's how you train your brain, choice by choice, day by day. Your mind is the most advanced machine in the world. But it only performs according to the instructions you give it. So feed it belief. Feed it gratitude. Feed it goals. Every person who dreams of success hits an invisible wall. It's not a wall made of stone or iron, it's made of thoughts. Those thoughts whisper that you're not enough, that you're too late, or that others are simply better. And that voice in your head can be louder than any external challenge. Most people never realize that their biggest obstacle isn't the world outside, but the world inside. They spend their lives trying to change their circumstances, yet ignore the beliefs that keep recreating those same circumstances. You can't attract new wealth with an old mindset. You can't hold real confidence if deep down you believe you don't deserve it. Let's uncover those hidden mental blocks one by one. Because until you expose them, you can't erase them. And the moment you see them clearly, they begin to lose power. The first major block is fear of failure. This is the silent killer of potential. It makes people hide their dreams, delay action, and settle for less. You may think you're avoiding pain by staying safe, but in truth, you're choosing a different kind of pain, the pain of regret. Here's the truth most people never face. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every confident, wealthy person has failed, not once, but hundreds of times. The difference is that they didn't take failure personally. They saw it as feedback, not proof of inadequacy. Your brain learns from mistakes faster than from success. Each time you fail and keep going, your neural pathways strengthen. Your resilience grows, your creativity sharpens, and your fear weakens. But if you stop after one fall, your brain learns that fear wins, and it remembers that lesson. To break this block, you must redefine what failure means. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I learned." Every setback carries information. If you study it, it becomes a stepping stone. If you fear it, it becomes a wall. The second block is fear of judgment. You may not realize how much power other people's opinions hold over you. From childhood, we were taught to please, to fit in, to be approved. But the truth is, no one who ever changed the world did it by being liked by everyone. When you live for approval, you disconnect from your purpose. You start editing your dreams to make others comfortable. But confidence cannot grow in a life built on permission. It grows when you dare to be disliked for being authentic. The most successful people are not fearless. They simply care more about their mission than about opinions. They understand that people judge either way, whether you succeed or fail. So you might as well live boldly and be judged for something meaningful. The third mental block is scarcity thinking. This is the belief that there's not enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough luck. It makes people compete instead of create. They see others' success as their own loss. But the truth is, the universe doesn't run out of abundance. It expands with every new dream pursued. Scarcity thinking keeps your brain locked in survival mode. It makes you take small, safe actions. But your brain thrives when it's challenged to grow. When you believe in abundance, your creativity unlocks. You start noticing chances you never saw before, simply because you're no longer blinded by fear. The next block is imposter syndrome. This is when you achieve something yet feel like you don't deserve it. You believe your success is luck, not skill. You fear that one day people will find out you're not as capable as they think. But here's the truth. Almost everyone feels this way at some point, even the most talented. Imposter syndrome is a sign that you've stepped out of your comfort zone. It means you're growing. Your brain is adjusting to a new level of identity. So instead of fighting it, use it as proof that you're expanding. Confidence doesn't mean the absence of doubt. It means moving forward despite it. Another block is guilt about wealth. So many people subconsciously believe that having money makes them selfish or greedy. They were taught that good people shouldn't want too much. But money only amplifies who you already are. If you're kind, it allows you to do more good. If you're wise, it gives you more power to help others. Wealth is energy. It flows where it's welcomed. If you secretly feel guilty for wanting it, your brain will push it away. It will create excuses, distractions, and delays. But when you see money as a tool for impact, your subconscious begins to open the door. The next major block is negative self-image. This one runs deep. It's built over years of criticism, comparison, and self-doubt. When you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, your brain accepts it as truth. And no matter how hard you work, your subconscious will pull you back down to match that belief. To change your reality, you must change your self-image. Start seeing yourself as someone who belongs in the room, someone worthy of success. You don't need to earn that worth, you already have it. The moment you recognize it, you begin to act differently, and your world responds. Now, there's another invisible barrier: comfort. Comfort feels safe, but it's a trap. Your brain loves comfort because it means predictability. But success lives outside of that zone. You can't build confidence or wealth while avoiding discomfort. Growth always feels awkward before it feels natural. Each time you choose to stretch beyond what's familiar, your comfort zone expands. That's how you rewire fear into power. Eventually, what once scared you becomes your new normal. And that's when life starts rewarding you with new levels of success. There's also the block of instant gratification. We live in a world where people expect quick results, fast money, fast fame, fast change. But your brain doesn't grow in an instant, it grows through consistency. Confidence is built brick by brick. Wealth is built decision by decision. If you chase shortcuts, you cheat yourself of the transformation that gives real strength. When you learn to love the process more than the prize, your growth becomes unstoppable. Because the process shapes your identity, and your identity attracts everything else. Another deep block is the belief that you're too late. So many people think their time has passed. They compare their beginning to someone else's middle. But the brain doesn't age when it comes to potential. You can rewire it at 20, 40, or 80. The only time it's too late is when you stop trying. You must remember, success is not a race, it's a rhythm. Your timing is your own. When you focus on growth instead of comparison, life aligns with your pace. Confidence doesn't come from being early, it comes from being consistent. Now let's talk about fear of success, a surprising but real block. Many people sabotage themselves right when success is near. Why? Because deep down, they fear change. They fear losing comfort, relationships, or the familiar version of themselves. Your subconscious may whisper, "What if I can't handle success?" But that's only the voice of your old identity trying to survive. To move forward, you must make peace with transformation. You can't become a new version of yourself while clinging to the old one. Here's a powerful truth. Every fear you face dissolves under action. Fear feeds on inaction. When you move toward it, it begins to shrink. Your confidence multiplies every time you do something you thought you couldn't. Start small. Make one phone call you've been avoiding. Speak up once when you usually stay quiet. Invest one step in your dream even if you feel unready. Those small acts send powerful messages to your subconscious. I am capable. I am growing. I am fearless. Breaking mental blocks isn't about fighting your thoughts. It's about reprogramming them. Your mind listens to repetition. So when negative thoughts appear, don't resist, replace. Replace fear with faith. Replace doubt with evidence of your past wins. Replace limitation with possibility. And be patient with yourself. You can't erase decades of conditioning in a week. But every time you challenge an old belief, you weaken it. And over time, that voice that once ruled your life becomes a whisper you can easily ignore. It's also important to understand that your brain protects you by creating fear. It's not trying to harm you. It's trying to keep you safe. But safety and growth rarely exist together. So you must thank your fear, then move forward anyway. Confidence doesn't come from eliminating fear. It comes from proving that you can move despite it. That's how your brain learns that fear isn't danger. It's simply a signal that you're stepping into new territory. And that's exactly where wealth and confidence live, beyond the edges of fear. The more you walk through it, the easier it becomes. The unknown transforms from frightening to exciting. And that's when life begins to reward you. So, how do you start breaking these blocks practically? First, write down your biggest fears about success or money. Then question each one. Is this absolutely true? Most fears collapse when examined with honesty. Next, replace each fear with an empowering belief, something your future self would say. Do this daily until it becomes your truth. Because what you believe, your brain creates. And what your brain creates, you begin to live. You are not your old story. You are not your past mistakes. You are the author of your next chapter. And if you can change the words in your mind, you can change the direction of your entire life. In the next chapter, we'll go deeper into how to use focus and emotion to supercharge your attraction power, turning every goal into a magnet for opportunity, money, and self-belief. Because when your focus and feelings align, your life starts moving faster than you ever imagined. There's one truth that separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's not intelligence. It's not background. It's focus, the ability to direct the mind toward a single goal with emotion and clarity. Your mind is like sunlight. When scattered, it warms. But when concentrated, it burns through anything. That's how focus works. When your thoughts are clear and emotionally charged, your brain turns them into reality. The problem is, most people live in mental chaos. Their thoughts jump from fear to distraction, from worry to fantasy. They want success but spend their energy doubting it. They chase confidence but rehearse insecurity. And then they wonder why nothing changes. To attract wealth and confidence, you must train your focus like a muscle. Because where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, results grow. Think about this. Your brain can process thousands of bits of information every second. But your conscious mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So the question is, what are you choosing to focus on? Scarcity or abundance? Fear or growth? Doubt or possibility? Every moment you spend focused on what you don't want, you're strengthening the wrong program. Your brain doesn't understand. Don't. If you say, I don't want to fail, your brain hears, fail. If you say, I want to succeed, your brain hears, succeed. That's the power of language and focus combined. So how do you use focus to attract wealth and confidence? It begins with intention. You must decide exactly what you want, not vaguely, but vividly. The brain needs a target. If you tell it, I want to be rich someday, it gets lost in uncertainty. But if you tell it, I will earn this much, doing this kind of work by this time, it starts looking for paths to make it happen. Clarity is magnetic. The clearer your goal, the faster your brain aligns to it. Vague dreams lead to vague results. But when you have direction, your subconscious becomes your ally instead of your enemy. Now let's talk about emotion, the true amplifier of thought. Emotion is what gives your focus power. It's the fuel that turns a thought into a physical result. If focus is the arrow, emotion is the fire behind it. The reason most affirmations fail is because people repeat them without emotion. They say the words but feel nothing. The brain doesn't respond to empty statements, it responds to emotional energy. That's why when you visualize success and feel it deeply, your subconscious starts believing it's real. Think of your mind like a garden again. Focus is the planting. Emotion is the water and sunlight. Without emotion, your thoughts dry out. But with emotion, they grow rapidly and take root. To harness emotion, you must learn to connect your goals with how they'll make you feel. Don't just say, "I want money." Say, "I want the freedom to help my family, to travel, to live without stress." Feel that freedom as if it's happening now. Your brain will begin to crave that emotional state, and it will find ways to create it in reality. There's a scientific reason this works. When you attach strong emotion to a vision, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. These not only make you feel motivated but also rewire your neural pathways to seek more of that state. It becomes a loop of attraction. Emotion fuels focus, focus fuels results, results fuel more emotion. Let's talk about how to use focus and emotion together every day. Start your morning by asking yourself, what do I want to feel today? Confidence? Peace? Gratitude? Then choose one and focus on it throughout the day. Your emotional direction shapes your external results. If you want confidence, act as if you already have it. Walk taller. Speak slower. Smile more. Your body posture sends signals back to your brain, and your brain adjusts your emotions accordingly. That's called the mind-body feedback loop. It's real and powerful. Wealth begins with the same principle. You must act like a person who respects money, attracts opportunity, and handles abundance with ease. When you do, your mind starts scanning for matching experiences. That's how the reticular activating system (RAS) works. It filters reality according to what you focus on most. If your focus is on problems, you'll find more of them. If your focus is on opportunities, you'll start spotting them everywhere. That's not luck, it's neuroscience. You're literally training your perception to support your goals. But here's the tricky part, your focus will always be tested. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, gossip, worry, and even boredom can steal your mental energy. Every time you give in, your brain learns to scatter again. That's why focus requires discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it's power. It means you choose where your energy goes. It means you say no to noise so you can say yes to growth. When your focus becomes selective, your life becomes effective. Try this exercise. For 1 week, track your thoughts. Notice how often they drift toward negativity or comparison. Each time you catch yourself, stop and redirect. Say, "That's not my story anymore. My mind is focused on growth." Do this repeatedly until it becomes automatic. Focus is not about fighting thoughts. It's about choosing better ones faster. Every redirection builds mental strength. Soon, your attention naturally stays on what empowers you. That's when confidence grows unshakable, because your energy no longer leaks through distractions. Now let's discuss emotional alignment. You can't attract wealth or confidence if your emotions constantly contradict your desires. For example, if you want money but feel unworthy of it, your energy repels it. If you want confidence but keep feeling inferior, your brain protects that old identity. You must align your emotions with your goals, even before they manifest. The easiest way to realign is through gratitude. Gratitude instantly shifts your focus from lack to abundance. It raises your emotional vibration to match what you desire. When you're truly grateful, your mind opens doors that effort alone can't. Gratitude trains your focus to see blessings, not problems, and that energy attracts more blessings. Another powerful tool is emotional rehearsal. Imagine yourself already living your dream, but feel it in your body. Breathe as that person, think as that person, move as that person. This practice builds new neural patterns. Your subconscious begins identifying with your future self instead of your old one. Confidence is not built in the future, it's built in the present by acting like your future self now. And the brain follows your lead. The more you act aligned, the more natural confidence becomes. Let's look at this practically. Say you want to attract wealth. Instead of saying, "I want money," ask, "What would a wealthy person focus on daily?" Would they complain or create? Would they doubt or decide? Would they fear or plan? Every time you choose the latter, you strengthen your wealth mindset. Emotion and focus can't work without each other. Focus gives direction, and emotion gives intensity. Together, they form the vibration that draws your desires into existence. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in harmony, the universe mirrors it back to you. Now, here's the part most people ignore: the role of energy management. Your energy level determines the quality of your focus. When you're drained, your thoughts spiral into negativity. That's why rest, nutrition, and self-care are not luxuries, they're fuel for attraction. A tired mind can't attract abundance because it's stuck in survival mode. Protect your energy the way you protect your dreams. Avoid emotional drains, arguments, gossip, or people who constantly complain. Energy is contagious. Surround yourself with people whose focus inspires yours. Your mind mirrors the company you keep. If you lose focus, don't judge yourself. Just return. Gently. Every time you refocus, your mental muscle grows. Progress is built through redirection, not perfection. When emotion and focus become consistent, you'll notice something extraordinary. Life starts to feel like it's working with you, not against you. Ideas flow easier. Confidence feels natural. And wealth no longer feels like something you're chasing, it feels like something you're attracting. That's when you realize your thoughts were never weak, they were just unfocused. Once directed, they can shape worlds. Remember this: every masterpiece began as a single focused thought charged with emotion. Every empire, invention, and transformation began with someone imagining something so clearly that reality had no choice but to follow. You are no different. Your brain is capable of the same magic. When you decide what to focus on and feel it as truth, your life begins to move in that direction. You start meeting the right people, getting the right ideas, and taking the right actions. It looks like coincidence, but it's not. It's your focus and emotion creating alignment. So, from today, train your brain to stay clear. Guard your attention like a treasure. Feed your emotions with gratitude and faith. Because when your focus and feelings are united, the world bends in your favor. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build through belief, action, and repetition. And the moment you understand that, your entire relationship with yourself begins to change. Most people think confidence comes after success. They believe, once I have the money, the job, or the recognition, then I'll feel confident. But the truth is, confidence is what creates success in the first place. It's the foundation on which every achievement is built. When you see people who seem effortlessly confident, it's not because their lives are perfect. It's because they've trained their minds to see themselves differently. They've learned to trust their own abilities, even when no one else does. And that trust, that inner belief, is what separates leaders from followers. To attract wealth and opportunities, you must carry yourself as someone who deserves them.